How the hell are you supposed to make money when the market is this crazy? So on Sunday, Bitcoin was up as high as $42,000. If you have paid attention to this channel and what I preach here, which is dollar cost average, right? Then you would have made a really good gain on that $29,000 Bitcoin that you would have bought, or any other coin that you would have bought in that $29,000 mark. Last week on the Coin Market Cap website, 100% of all the coins in the top 100 coins were up 10 to 20%. Meaning if you had invested into anything a week ago, then you would have made those gains. Literally anything. We've seen the likes of Axie Infinity and other NFT platforms see gains of up to 100%. Mochi Market is a fantastic example. Looking at even just this week, most coins are up very high, which means that if you had dollar cost average, when the markets dipped and you're not fearful and you got into the positions, these will be the gains that you'll be enjoying right now. So where to from now on? Well, you know what? I'm a long-term hodler and I think you should be as well. Obviously, this isn't financial advice, but think about it. People who held Bitcoin for any longer than 3.5 years have literally never lost any money. This means the peak that we've seen previously has been blown out within 3.5 years. The fact of the matter is, too many of you are out there wanting these short-term gains, but the real gain is found when you hold cryptocurrencies for a long term. So what is the most important thing that you look out for in cryptocurrencies? Well, is its longevity. Bitcoin is going to be around, but no, it's not going to have the best gain. It's the alts that are going to go up, because in the list that I've just showed you, you've seen that other coins have had much higher gains than Bitcoin did. In the finance world, we call that stretching out the risk curve. So make sure you research those altcoins that are going to have the longevity. Some of the coins that are worth mentioning is Ethereum, for starters. It's not really an altcoin, but it's a fantastic coin to hold for a very long term. Not to mention, its low was at 1700 and today it's around 2600. That is a crazy gain that you would have seen if you invested in the dip last week. So I'm mentioning quite a few things here. So dollar cost average is one strategy. That's how you're supposed to make money in this market, which means every time there's a dip in the price, you buy a little bit more into the asset, therefore reducing the average price of acquisition of a particular asset. So when it dips,
don't be afraid. I have just gone and bought some more.
But right now the market is quite overheated because Bitcoin right now is slipping below $40,000. So I have shared in my TikTok video recently that I have shorted Bitcoin and also Doge. Lo and behold, out of all the gains, Doge is the only one that's showing red today and across the last 7 days. Because that $40,000 to $42,000 mark is a pretty big resistance on Bitcoin as well. I've also shorted my Bitcoin for the short term as well. The fact that you have long and short, you can play this market on both ends. That is what I am doing at the moment. Anything can happen, but those are the risks that I've decided to take for this time. But that doesn't mean I'm just going to let go of everything, right? Because right now there are so many exciting things that are happening in the crypto world. We've had a massive pump on DeFi, but now everyone's looking at NFTs, right? Which is something to do with social tokenization, which I have talked about in the previous video. The network effect is really going to kick in with the NFTs. Gaming, artwork, music, these are all going to become a part of this NFT boom that we're going to experience. Check out this article. Gary Vaynerchuk just paid 3.7 million in Ethereum for a CryptoPunk NFT. We've seen CryptoPunk sell as high as $11 million at the beginning of the year. And to have a figure like Gary Vaynerchuk invest into this, the network effect is really building up in this market. Not to mention the general uptake and interest in crypto is increasing based on the numbers that we're seeing right now. Right now, we have on record that Square customers have spent $2.7 billion on Bitcoin in Q2. And that's been reported by Square, which is headed up by Jack Dorsey, another very large crypto bull who also happens to run Twitter.com. So overall, we are going to see an increase in Bitcoin. We are going to see a short-term retracement down to the low 30s. I don't know how low it's actually going to get. I can identify some supports which I think the price will visit. And at those supports, my intention is to then acquire more Bitcoin. And not only Bitcoin, but other altcoins which are going to display a much cheaper price compared to the drop that Bitcoin is going to experience. Because those are the coins that are going to experience some really good gains too. So I'll just be averaging in the next couple of weeks. I'm not sure what's going to happen to Ethereum because Ethereum is showing a really good strength. Because what I see in Ethereum is consistent development that somehow is going to be detaching itself from the movement of Bitcoin. Up until now, we have seen some great correlation among cryptocurrencies to the movement of Bitcoin, which meant if Bitcoin went up, every other coin went up. If Bitcoin went down, every other coin went down. But if you look at the market, especially this week, we've seen that Ethereum has gone up 12% while Bitcoin has only gone up 2%. This is what I'm talking about, guys. One of the reasons for that is because Ethereum is always consistently going through a development and therefore detach itself from Bitcoin's price narrative. So what kind of developments is it going through? Well, it's this one right here. Ethereum London hard fork to make some tokens worthless. It basically says gas tokens such as GST2 and CHI used by developers to secure lower prices when deploying smart contracts will become obsolete. The focus here is that the transaction fee on Ethereum is going to drop quite significantly, making Ethereum a much more scalable solution. I love the Ethereum network. Its innovation, the new products, the NFT gaming space like Axie Infinity, it's a very, very exciting platform. But it's got one problem. It's its scalability. We've had solutions to that scalability issue on the layer 2, such as the Polygon network, which we know has done enormously well. And scalability is obviously referring to its gas fees. If it costs an arm and a leg every time you do a transaction, well, guess what? People aren't going to be using it as much. So where to next with cryptocurrencies? Well, guess what? I think Ethereum, we can expect some higher highs, but I think it could be weighed down by the future movement of Bitcoin to some degree. And in that sense, I probably won't be averaging in so much at this very stage, but watching my gains grow on a daily basis. Once Bitcoin retraces down to the 30s or even to the high 20s, that's when I'll be re-entering to the market. But overall, I am hodling for the long term, and I have done so since back in January this year. But in the short term, I will gain some cash flow from shorting Bitcoin and also Dogecoin. And so with that in mind, go check out this video so that you can learn how to make more money. And this is what I do. But think about it. Think about it. How the hell